Man, it's way too high. Here are some of the quarterbacks that's immediately after Dak Prescott. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr. I'll take every last one of those quarterbacks in front of Dak Prescott. Every last one of them. I'm not saying just one of them, all of them. Hell, I'm not so sure that he's the seventh best quarterback in the NFC, let alone the entire league. Stop this, Skip. And they say, well, he's great at pre-snap read. What good is that? Skip, you ever taken a test? Man, I can't believe I got that wrong. I knew the answer. What good is you knowing the answer if you got it wrong? What good is a pre-snap read if you can't do it? Every year we go through this. Come on, man. I get it. Dak is an unbelievable story. But Skip, this is some bull jive. Ain't no way in hell. In the words of Tom Brady, this is some bleep. And you know it, Skip. You know what? I ain't gonna say no more. Because I know good and well you can't justify this as the seventh best quarterback. Even when you tried, I know how you've been loving the Cowboys since how long? 1960 when they came in? 61.
Second year.
I know. Take it. I'm baffled. I'm baffled that somebody that people think that Dak Prescott is the seventh best quarterback in all of football, not just the NFC. All 32 teams. Ain't no way in hell he better than Stafford, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. I'm not so sure, Skip. Truth be told, hell, he ain't. If he better, I would take First Cousins. I'll take First Cousins over Dak.
Did you just say what I think you just said?
You heard what I said.
Dak Prescott owned Kirk Cousins when Kirk was in Washington.
Everybody
he was Kurt Cousins.
Everybody owned the Commanders. They were terrible back then.
Okay. My turn. I have told you again and again and again and again and again, I cannot defend Dak down the stretch of 2019 or last year. I can't defend down the stretch. 2019, they start off 3-0, gangbusters, and he goes to contractual war with Jerry Jones. And then over the last 13 games, they finished 5-8. I cannot defend what Dak didn't do on the road, as you recall, at Jets and at New England and at Philadelphia and at Chicago. I could go on and on and on. Right. Can't defend it. Last year, Dak started 5-1. Then he missed the next game, which Cooper Rush won in Minnesota to get to 6-1. But Dak was 5-1. And
then he came back.
Over his last 11 games, he went 6-5, including the home playoff loss in which he did not play well. Okay, I can't defend any of that. But the first line of the Ringer article is Dak Prescott is forever underrated. And I will defend that statement because that is true. He is forever underrated because we're so critical of the quarterback of America's team. So if we step back and we look at the big picture body of work of Dak Prescott, let's look at QBR, my favorite stat, my favorite way to rank quarterbacks. In Dak's rookie year, he finished third at 78, but let's just do his rankings. He finished third, and then his second year, he finished fourth in QBR. Next year, 17th, he fell to 17th, didn't play that well, but they had a good year in 2018.
Yeah.
Then 2019, he was fourth. And then 2020, we're going to eliminate because he barely played and didn't qualify. And then last year, he was 11th after a hot start. He faded all the way down to 11th. So third, fourth, 17th, fourth, and 11th. If we total those up and do the average of those 5 years, it's 8th. So they got him ranked 7th. So he's been 8th in the whole league in QBR. And by the way, to validate that point, last year Pro Football Focus graded Dak Prescott as the 8th best quarterback in the league. So 8th and 8th, so 7th might be a rung too high. But is it really out of line?
Let me ask you a question. At any point in time, his rookie year, he finished third. Do you think Dak Prescott, his rookie year, was the third best quarterback in all of football? Hell no.
Boy, he played at a high level.
In a league with Tom Brady was, 16? So he was 6 years younger. He wasn't even 40. Drew Brees was still at his apex. Aaron Rodgers was still in the league. And you saying that he was the third best quarterback in front of those three. Stop it.
Do you remember what he did on Thanksgiving against Kirk Cousins at Jerry World? He was extraordinary.
I think the thing is that Dak's a fourth-round quarterback. And I think we valued him too much because they're like, look, he's a fourth rounder, Shannon. What do you expect? Okay, where you get drafted that only matters with signing bonus. At the end of the day, there have been a lot of guys that have been drafted lower. There have been some higher. Some didn't meet expectations. Some exceeded expectations. So this notion that Dak Prescott is all of a sudden we underrate him because why? There's an expectation level when you play the quarterback position to get the job done, and he hasn't got it done. So are you telling me, you just said that Joe Burrow yesterday was baby Brady. He's the closest thing. Now you saying Dak Prescott is better than Joe Burrow.
I did not say that.
Well, he's behind
that
him.
would be the one I would circle as saying Joe Burrow should be ranked first or second.
Hold on. He's better than, you saying Dak is better than Matthew Stafford?
I'm still not impressed with Matthew Stafford. He is a product of Cooper Kupp having the greatest year any receiver's ever had. I believe I'm going to go 65% of the credit to Cooper Kupp, making Matt Stafford what he was.
Guess what?
I've never seen a better wavelength between a thrower and a catcher than those two had going through the playoffs.
With all, Skip, they called him Matthew Pafford, and I don't believe it. He was in Detroit, yada, yada, yada. When everybody said the man, Bruce Arians says, I would go out, he's one of the guys that when he's warming up, you go out and watch. He had the most pressure because they traded what they gave. They gave up the #1 overall pick in Jared Goff and first-round picks for this guy that said the reason why we haven't won a Super Bowl yet was because of the quarterback. Nobody was under more pressure than Matthew Stafford. Not only did he stand up, he delivered it in his own building. Kyler Murray, you taking Dak over Kyler? Now, you love Kyler, Oklahoma. Are you taking him over him?
I'll take Dak over Kyler right now. Kyler has fallen on his face twice in a row. Twice in a row down the stretch, he has cratered.
But you just told me.
I can't say. Dak at least has won a playoff game as Kyler.
Skip, the man's only been in
Kyler
the
played
league.
and won.
Skip, but you just told.
I'll take Dak over Kyler. Dak has done more. Dak deserves to be ranked higher than Kyler.
What I mean,
I'm glad he got his money, but I got to see way more.
But you just told me the reason why you like Dak over First Cousins is because Dak owns him. Kyler Murray owned Dak Prescott.
Well,
they ain't never lost to him.
Well, I think Arizona owns Dallas.
No. The quarterback, that's not what you said. You said Dak owns First Cousins. You didn't say the Cowboys own the Commanders.
Okay, but if memory serves, Kyler Murray had a homework clause inserted originally into his contract. And the Ringer says Dak Prescott has quietly developed into one of the NFL's most cerebral passers. It ranks him as sort of Brady Payton-esque.
Skip, I get all, Skip. If you know the answer to the test, but you get it wrong, what good is you knowing the answer if you got it wrong? What good is a pre-snap read if you're still turning the ball over? And so you know what they're doing, and you still losing. So what am I missing with this?
The Ringer rhapsodizes about Dak Prescott's impressive poise and footwork, and when all else fails, he can create with his legs. I can't disagree.
He better than L-Jack. Lamar Jackson has won a playoff game.
The guy Shannon Sharp says cannot throw well enough to win big in this league. That's what Shannon Sharp
Hold on. They just said lack of arm talent about Dak Prescott. That's what they wrote. So they don't believe his arm is good enough to win in this league.
Well, did they? I don't see that.
What did they say? What was the drawback? What was the weakness?
Shoulder injury affected his arm.
What did they say the weakness with Dak Prescott
That's what it says. The shoulder injury obviously affected his arm strength.
Arm talent.
Okay, well, that's not what it says.
Arm talent. That was the article.
Better thrower of the football, Dak Prescott or Lamar Jackson?
Better quarterback, Lamar Jackson or Dak Prescott?
Well, that's
Lamar
not what
Jackson.
you say. That's not what you say.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're the guy who sat over there for like 6 straight months, beating your side of the table. Pay the man.
Yes.
Pay the man the most money because you wanted Jerry stuck with him.
And
right?
you are. But, Skip, he deserved his money.
Did he?
Yes. Y'all, hold on. When the man, like you said, he had the third best QBR. He made $650,000. You wasn't pounding the table. Jerry paid a man. You was happy to ride along. Jerry was happy to ride along to pay a quarterback that was making $650,000. As you said, he was finishing third in QBR. Now, when it comes time for the rent to be due, the balloon payment is due. You don't want to do what you're supposed to do. Pay the man his money.
Really? Okay. Rounders, I would agree.
Yeah.
And yet, my man Baker Mayfield is all the way down at number 20. And yet the Ringer says about Baker that he can do a decent impression of a top 10 quarterback when he is right. Well, I don't think it's an impression. I think he can be a top 10 quarterback.
It's an illusion.
Really?
It's a mirage.
Well, when they re-rank, and the point of this piece was that the writer is saying we will re-rank each week. As the weeks go by, Baker Mayfield will rise up this list, and he will threaten the top 10 before it's all over.
He ain't threatening nothing. He's a mirage. Skip, you remember them old movies, them old Western movies? The guy in the desert, he think he drinking water that be saying, That's Baker. The moment you think you got your top, no, he's not it.
He's got a lot of sand inside him.
And he's not better than Jalen Hurts, and you know that.
Baker?
What part about that did you understand?
I love Jalen Hurts. And he will also rise up this list because you have poo-pooed him from the start.
Skip.
As in poo-pooed all over him from the start.
What about, is he better than Baker Mayfield? Right as you and I sit here and discuss this topic.
No way. Jalen Hurts? I love Jalen Hurts, and I'm scared to death of the Eagles, but Baker has proven so much more than Jalen has even thought about doing in this league.
Man, that man went to the play.
Baker Mayfield won a playoff game at Pittsburgh. And you just just sweep it right under your
Jalen Hurts took a team to the playoff in his second year.
He did. I told you.
What Baker do in his second year?
I prophesied it. I saw it coming.
What did he do? What your guy do?
Yeah, what did he do in his third year? He went and won a playoff game for the first time in Cleveland since 1994.
This is Jalen Hurts' third year. Many of them got them picked to win the division and to make a deep playoff
But
run.
after Baker won 7 games as a raw rookie after his team went 0-16 the year before, Shannon Sharp was driving his bandwagon, saying, shake and bake, baby.
I already knew what was going to happen. I knew he was going to crash the bus.
No,
I knew he was going to crash the bus. He ain't got no CDL license. He can't drive no heavy equipment like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I knew what was going to happen.
Well, now he's got a little Volkswagen bus down in Carolina, and he's going to be driving it right over your head.
The little clown bus. Me. You want the little clown drive around the circle? The Curds are coming back. The circle's coming back.
Worst team in pro football.
Skip, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not ashamed.
Dak Prescott is not a top 10 quarterback. He's not better than Lamar, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, and I'm not taking him over Derek Carr. I'm not going to do it. Derek Carr went there on Thanksgiving. Since you love talking about Thanksgiving Day games, what did Derek Carr do to Dak Prescott on Thanksgiving Day last year? 50 million people watched him put butts in Dak.
Dak actually overall outplayed Derek Carr, had a better QBR than Derek Carr, but come crunch time, come overtime, they win the toss, Dallas does, and they can't get a first down.
Yeah, who was the quarterback? I want to know who was the quarterback. Who was this seventh best quarterback in the NFL that got the ball first? They changed the rules in the playoffs because they say whoever wins the coin toss in the playoffs, they normally win the football game. Dak Prescott won the coin toss and couldn't get a first down.
I think Noah Brown was playing quarterback. I think they got mixed up in the huddle, and Noah wound up at quarterback, and Dak went out to the wideout, and they had it all backwards.
You love that.
Yeah.
I mean, you love talking about Thanksgiving Day. And Derek Carr mopped the floor with him. Mopped the floor with him.
He didn't mop the floor. He mopped the floor with our defense.
It was nice, the defense.
Anthony Brown. How many PIs did Anthony Brown have in the game? 3?
Skip. I mean, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, Skip. Come on, Dak.
This is a huge year for Dak Prescott, and I believe however great he can be, he will be this year. He will maximize his goodness or maybe greatness.
So 7 years in. So you hadn't seen enough.
Okay, 6 years of QBR averaging 8th in the league. That's pretty impressive.
I don't believe there's not one. I don't believe you'll find a general manager other than the Cowboys, and that's Jerry Jones, that says Dak Prescott is the 7th best quarterback in all of football. I want you to find me. I want to, anonymous. They should. I guarantee you Dak Prescott would not get one vote for the 7th best quarterback.
Okay, final point. Help me out here. The team last year that scored the most points and the team that had the most yards on offense was Dallas. The quarterback in all those games was, except for one, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, well, wait, if your team has the most points and the most yards, doesn't that mean you should be at least in the top 7?
No, Skip. That's like having a bunch of money, but the IRS got it under audit. You can't get to it. They got it locked. No, you can't. What good is a ton of money if you can't get to it? What good is having all those points, all those yards, and when you needed yards and when you needed points, you couldn't get them? You remember what San Francisco did to you in your building? You averaged 32 points a game. How many points did you get in that playoff game? You averaged 440 yards. How many yards did you get in that game? So what good is all those stats? Is that when I absolutely got to have it, I got nothing.
Okay, but those stats counted in the regular season. They happened. You cannot discount or discredit
You
them.
know what I'm starting to see? You for a guy that prides himself on loving greatness, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, you're liking mediocrity. The Dallas Cowboys, Baker Mayfield. You see what I'm getting at? You see where I'm going? Okay. You saw that too, huh? Okay.
We win Super Bowl. We got trophies, man.
Skip.
Jerry's office is full of trophies.
Skip, you know
They're old trophies.
Exactly. There are a lot of like 20, 50 million millennials have no idea that the Cowboys won a Super Bowl in their lifetime.
Roger Staubach won 2.
They
Could have won 4.
Skip, they couldn't tell you who Roger Staubach is.
They should.
No, they should.
I knew who Babe Ruth was.
Yeah, you heard stories about it.
No, I knew. I read about it.
Yeah.
Roger Staubach was Babe Ruth to me.
Oh, my goodness. Skip, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm proud of myself.
We're going to have to leave this one here, guys. I know you can discuss it all day. We will have a catch-up history lesson on the Cowboys at some point. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.